Hi, I'm Robert Bernard with Freightliner Custom Chassis. I am in Pueblo, Colorado at the Newmar International Rally, and we have a Dutch Star, Newmar Dutch Star, coming in right now. And as you'll see, some of the components are similar in a lot of our chassis, but we are custom. So every manufacturer, make, and model is different. We will do what the manufacturers ask us. Our engineering team will design the chassis to give you the best ride and handling in the industry. Not only do we ship the chassis like this to Newmar, we also put the components in. So we have a box that will have your steering column, your dash. So in 2020, we went to DriveTech. DriveTech idea is to have your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road, safety first. All your controls are within reach of your fingertips. You can go to YouTube and see DriveTech. We'll have a video which explains everything on that drive steering column. We use that steering column worldwide, probably about 500,000 across the world in our trucks, buses, RVs. This chassis is manufactured in Gaffney, South Carolina, where all of our engineers are, our manufacturing, and our call center. You can call 1-800-FTL-HELP for the life of your coach. We purchased it from Oshkosh in 1995. If you have an Oshkosh chassis, you can call the phone number and ask questions. It may be something as simple as, how do I change the clock on my dash? It may be something very complex. I have a check engine light on, I want to know what it means. Do I need to take it to Transwest and get it fixed? Or is it something I can take care of myself? On the new system, also in diagnostics, you can see fault codes. So if something happened, you can look up the fault code and call our 800 number and ask them what that fault code means. One good thing about Transwest is they're one of our elite Freightliner dealers. And what does that mean for our RV customers? It means if you go into Transwest and you have something wrong with your coach, within 2 hours, they have to let you know what is wrong. They may say, hey, it's okay, continue on your trip and come and see us when you get back, or you need to get in line and we need to get you service. Let's talk a little bit about the chassis. Up in the front, you'll have drain lanyards. This is an extra safety feature. You should pull these drain lanyards about every 6 months for 10 or 15 seconds, just to make sure no water is coming out of your tank. If you hear a little spitting sound, psh, psh, that is okay. It's getting the water out. If you hear some water pouring out, you have another issue. You'd need to get into service center and have them take a look. You'll have two on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. The best way to do it is to air your vehicle up all the way and then turn either to the left, the steering wheel, or to the right so you can get in there and see it. We use sack shocks on a majority of our diesel pushers, and these are custom tuned to every make and model. When we have a new model being developed or an OEM says we want to have this out into the marketplace, we'll have sacks come to our facility in Gaffney, South Carolina and do testing. Again, to give you the best ride and handling. We'll get questions about airbags sometimes. Hey, how long will that airbag last? You know, it's covered, so it's protected from the sun. I mean, I've seen some as long as 20 years and they're still good. Now, of course, if you have debris in the road and something hits it, then you have another issue. We've had questions at this rally. Is it okay to have my wheels off the ground from my jacks? We do not recommend that. There are many reasons why. It can be pulling on the sack shocks. It can be pulling down on your A-frames and also your airbag. This can disconnect right here. It can pull off. You see on this Dutch Star, it is independent front suspension and the nice big A-frames. What does that do for the customer? Well, when you hit a bump on one side, you're not getting any bump steer. So your steering is staying straight. Very comfortable ride going down the road. We use Michelin exclusive on diesel pushers. And the reason we use Michelin is they are the only tire manufacturer that is doing research for the RV industry and doing testing. Very important thing to do. for your coach is to weigh it, and that'll give you the correct tire pressure. And how do you weigh it? This particular one has 4. If you had a tag, you'd have 6, but you need to do a 4-corner weight. You can go to Transwest, some other dealers have them, and get it weighed per corner. But you'll want to do this when you are while you are full. So if you travel with water, you want to have 100 gallons in your water tank. Fuel, same thing, fill it up, and all of your stuff that you take with you, and then have each corner weighed, and go to the Michelin website, and it'll tell you the exact tire pressure. And this will give you the best ride. It'll also save on your tires. Fuel tank. This particular Dutch Star has 100 gallons. We have 150 gallon fuel tanks. And again, this is custom to the manufacturer. They may want to put it back further, just depending on where they can get the most storage for you. We do several different types of chassis rails. This particular one is a raised rail. We have a straight rail, which would come straight across here. The raised rail gives you more storage underneath. All of our wires are color-coded for ease of maintenance. When you take it into Transwest, they can look it up to see what color, if it's the secondary braking, primary braking. And then we also enclose those. That's so road debris doesn't get up there and get all over them. Now that digital dash went standard in 2020. People love it. But we've also changed that several times from customer input. We love to come to shows like this because then we can talk to the customers, get feedback. And on that dash, the first iteration, we had DEF in there, but you had to scroll for it. Customer said, we want to see the DEF right there on our screen. So now the screen has DEF on there. And speaking of DEF, if you're traveling, you want to run that down as far as you can. If you're sitting and you're putting in storage, you want to fill the DEF tank up all the way. If you go to the Michelin website, they'll also give you some stuff about storage, some tips. We want to have your tires last as long as possible. They come with a 7-year warranty from in-service date, so when we pull it out. And one thing about warranty, so Freightliner Custom Chassis warranty, in 2023, we went to 5 years, 100,000 miles, and it's transferable for free. So if you're looking at a 2024, you'll want to know when it was put in service and see if it still has warranty. Well, it will still have warranty left to see how much. Towing, if you ever need to be towed, please call our 800 number, 1-800-FTL-HELP. Again, it's good for the life of your coach. We see so much damage from tow truck drivers, from the A-frames being bent, windshields being cracked, to hose sides creasing, and we see this quite often. Another reason to call the 800 number, if you ever want to do put some fluids in. You want to make sure you're putting those fluids in the right component, in the right container. See, we have limited real estate on that engine, and we put little labels. Sometimes it's behind it, that label. And speaking of engines, so we use Cummins exclusively on the diesel pushers and Allison transmission. Why do we use Cummins? Because they're doing, again, testing on the RV side. It communicates with your transmission, and those are 5 years, 100,000 mile warranty as well. And the Allison transmission is 5 years, 200,000 miles. Again, transferable for free. So they talk to each other. These are smart engines nowadays. They'll give you the best fuel economy. If you are going onto the expressway and you already have your cruise control set, hit resume. That'll get you up to speed faster than you putting and stepping on the pedal. Why? Because of the technology in it. Allison's talking to Cummins. Cummins is saying we need to do this, and it'll get you up to speed quicker. In the rear, we have an air dryer. That is the most neglected service item on a Freightliner Custom Chassis. What does the air dryer do? The air dryer captures all the moisture going into your airlines and air tanks, and it keeps them dry. If that fails, you have little beads that'll go through all your airlines, and you need to then take it to Transwest and have them take those tanks out lines. It's extremely expensive to do it that way. We use V-Ride in the rear. You'll see some V-blades. It was designed to put 24,000 pounds on a single axle, but it'll give you a great ride. It helps with roll stability. And if we don't use independent front suspension in the front, we'll put a VFS. Those are balanced and tuned together, again, to give you the best ride. Helps with bump steer, eliminates it, and also brake dive. So if you hit your brakes real hard, you're not going to have that diving going down. Helps with roll stability. Oh, and if you also look on the V-Ride, we laser etched that right in there. There's a quick alignment. So if you ever need a rear alignment, they don't need to cut and weld and do all that stuff. They can just use that. Transwest can get you back up and going in no time at all. In the rear, of course, this is a side radiator. Very easy to work on, but we have the air filter. This should be changed every 2 years. Why do you want to change it every 2 years? Our manufacturers tell us this is paper and glue inside of here, and if that deteriorates, it gets sucked in and it's going to go into your turbo. Another very, very expensive repair. We like to say 1, 2, 3. Every year, take it into the dealer, get your oil changed, all your filters, fuel filters changed. Every 2 years, get your your air filter changed. Every 3 years, your air dryer should be changed. So very simple, 1, 2, and 3. If you forget that, go to our app, My 24/7 Direct. Has all the maintenance on there. Also has all of our service locations across the country. Has the 800 number, frequently asked questions, and one of my favorite, the dash lights. What does that dash light mean? You go to the app, match it up, click on that button, it'll tell you exactly what that dash light is. Back here we have a fuel water separator. It may show on your dash, water and fuel. Don't panic, it's okay. It'll separate it back here. And you'll see on this one, you have a little drain plug here. Unscrew it and let a couple tablespoons out and put it back. Do not let all of it out. You will lose your prime, and then you're calling our 800 number. You'll see the name right here, Detroit. We use Detroit components. Detroit is a sister company to Freightliner Custom Chassis. As you can see, when we ship this to Newmar, it goes like this, comes into their facility, again with several boxes on it with all of our dash components and our steering column. And then they take it from there. They start putting it into their manufacturing facility and start building up on it. We show the chassis at rallies like this. You may see one in Hershey, you may see one in Tampa. If you are going to Transwest, they also sell Newmar. They have Renegade, which is on a Freightliner heavy truck. So Freightliner Custom Chassis is custom, Freightliner truck is separate. If you're ever in Gaffney, South Carolina, stop by and see us. We do a tour Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Someone said yesterday, what if I'm the only one that shows up? Guess what? You are lucky and you get a private tour of our facility. Inside the facility, we use smart tools. These range from $30,000 to over $100,000. And what does that do? Let's say we're putting this on. It's automatic torqued. That smart tool goes in here. We can go back and look per VIN and see what torque was used to put on this one. We want to make sure you're safe going down the road. Make sure you have the right tire pressure. Do your maintenance. And your RV will last you a lifetime.